RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
And what was the other? Oh yes, the other.
Catastrophe.
Yes, the catastrophe in the UK.
Boom, sinking.
Yeah, Matchroom also put out a cartoon. Now we didn't preview it because, with the exception of Harper Baumgardner, it wasn't really anything that was too crazy on there. It was more like, let's see what will happen once the event happens. And for the most part, the undercard was a little bit boring. Like there's no question about that. It was not, it wasn't the most entertaining thing to watch. Like I said, Eddie Hearn is very hit or miss with this. But what he's not hit or miss with is being susceptible to all these crazy upsets. And the first one happened on the co-main with Terry Harper and Alicia Baumgardner. Now, Alicia Baumgardner was the actual underdog in this fight. She was like plus 300 or 400. And I would say there wasn't a reason why, because Harper is a good puncher. Like if you watch the shit that if you watch the Mandingo series he had a couple summers ago, the first one, like him and it was Jonas, right? Natasha Jonas that in that fight, LB, if I remember.
Yeah, Natasha Jones, yeah. Which was a draw, but she should have lost that shit.
Right. Yeah,
Stay fucking up with Jones. Jeez.
Yeah, and it was a hell of a fight. So Terry Harper is for real. She wasn't. She's not like. I know most people like to say, English fighters this and that, and especially if you're a woman fighter. But no, Terry Harper, she could scrap. So it wasn't a big thing to why she was the big favorite. And then Harper was just getting over, I guess, breaking her hand in a fight that she actually scored a stoppage in as well. And by no Baumgardner, she's been operating on the low, and she's in Tony Harrison's camp. His father, rest in peace, Ali Salam, was her trainer. So I know she had been bubbling on the low, and on top of that, she had ACL surgery too. So yeah, I still remember on Twitter because I think we follow her, where she had been asking for the shot against Harper, and Eddie was like, oh yes, I'll what, let me get a yank here, let me let me get one for Harper, and then Harper can knock her out, and then she can stop asking me shit.
Well, I still remember that when she sent the screenshot of a text message with Eddie telling her, you got your shot, and I was like, yes, I'm ready for this. And I called it. I was like, and Baumgardner has power. Baumgardner can punch. It's just the most like who's because Harper. Honestly, I thought Harper would have made more of a fight with it, but just immediately, like Harper was just too slow for her. Like it was almost it was like within the first half a minute, like Harper was in trouble. Like Harper was staggered big time. And then what Harper wasn't doing was Harper was not throwing no type of jab. She was just walking towards, like she was just step slow, and this is even for a 2-minute round. Like it didn't take long for Baumgardner to actually get her jab going, and it just seemed like Harper was just a step behind. Like she didn't know what to do. Like Harper was just like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? Like she's moving around, she's picking me off, she's jabbing me to the gut. Like what the fuck am I gonna do? I don't think Harper was used to all that.
What, getting her head boxed off? Because she was definitely getting boxed up.
But I think
she couldn't overcome distance.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the defense wasn't there. Like it seemed like she was in a whole nother fight itself.
Yeah. And on top of that, I know people like say, "Oh, she was out for like a year," and that played the case. Like that may be so, but there was just a lot of things that Harper just was not doing. Basically she was flustered, and then the end came in the 4th round. Like the fucking thing, like Baumgardner, she threw a jab to the gut, and Harper came in with her hands down, and Baumgardner hit her with a lightning fast right hand. If people say it's a pull counter, I don't think it was a pull counter. Like you know, LB, did you think that was a pull counter?
It wasn't a pull. It wasn't a pull counter.
I didn't think it was.
Nah,
a pull
people
counter.
like saying pull counter because it's the fancy term, and a lot of them only know boxing and his pull counter. So when they see a right hand land clean, you know, especially if a black person does it, they pull counter. When you mention anybody else doing a pull counter, niggas is like, nah, really, nah, I don't see it, man.
Because if you're doing a pull counter, you gotta pull away from an actual punch, which you would.
And then counter with the with the right hand, like afterwards. It's a 1-2 bang bang play, like
exactly.
Like that was like not a pull counter.
People. So if you're listening, that wasn't a pull counter. Because like I said, when you're pull countering, you're pulling away from some sort of punch, which she did. Terry Harper walked into a punch. She walked into a counter, a vicious one.
She walked right into a. It was more similar to what Rosado was catching Munguia with, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Just an overhand. Maybe not an overhand, but it was just a big right hand.
And all of a sudden, she performed 2 dance moves. First, she performed the slide. It was smooth too. She did a little pop and lock with her legs, and then she locked. And then she did a fucking smooth criminal lean, some Michael Jackson shit.
AKA the Walking Dead.
Okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? That's what the referee was saying in her ear as he was trying to stop. As he was trying to stop.
Lord.
Yeah, she was looking bad. Like that ref was quick to stop it. Like that was perfect. He was right there.
Yes.
I mean, she still got caught with a little left hook, but
But let's put it this way: if
it was
the
a
referee,
good stoppage.
If the referee wasn't on point, the follow up punches would have she would have been carried out of the ring. Like she was gone from that punch. I was like, God damn! It's not every day you see someone get knocked out standing like that, like completely out of it. And even then, the referee was holding up. She had that dull look in her eyes. Like you could tell, she was, she was on Queer Street. She was really in an appalling state, as they like to say. So, but I love the reaction. Baumgardner was over there yelling, jumping up and down, and I think Tony Harrison was there. I think was one of the cornermen. And she was over there screaming and crying. Like I was like, I know that fight that win definitely meant a lot to her, man. And like I said, women's boxing, man. People complain about the LB. He wrote a perfect tweet about it, man. Don't sleep on women's fights, man. They may just surprise you. And she got highlighted. Shorty's on ESPN Ringside. The Zone, the YouTube, that punch is highlighted everywhere.
Can't sleep on women's boxing, especially if you claim you're a hardcore boxing fan. Man.
Yeah,
there's too many damn good fights, performances, the best fighting the best.
Yeah,
we've had some great fucking matchups in women's boxing, and I don't know, man. You spreading jelly on yourself, man. You done. You toast, nigga. If you ain't fucking with women's boxing right now, you the person that's on the outside looking inside at a school pizza party. That's what you're doing right now.
But yeah, and it's funny too. The crowd was upset, bro. They was upset. Boo. Them Brits was not happy that Harper got knocked out like that. And they were relentless even after she gave the post-fight interview. Boo. I like to thank God. Boo. they was furious. And I know Eddie was just like. Eddie was quick to say, okay, yeah, there's a rematch clause, and now given the reputation now Matchroom is now that's making way around Twitter and shit like that as their nickname now. Yeah, Eddie was quick to say, "Oh yeah, Terry Harper, she has a rematch clause, and we'll have to sit down and discuss with her. She wants to do it." And truthfully, Harper might want to calm down on an immediate rematch because Harper had nothing. Like, it was one thing if I thought Harper was a little bit competitive and she just got caught, or it was like a fight of the year shit like Jonas, but nah, she got that work. Like she got
so I think the only thing that was more annoying than the British crowd booing her was fucking Michaela Mayer on fucking Twitter and Instagram.
See, Pete understands now why I just can't stand Michaela Mayer.
She was like, well, he didn't ask you about God, he asked you about Michaela Mayer. And then, like, she just started to, like, ramble sounding like Boomhauer from fucking King of the Hill.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yo, shorty, calm down. Like, yo, chill. Like, let someone else have their moment. You just gave us one moment. Like, chill. Like, cause we can still talk about how you was getting hit with every punch in the world for the first 5 rounds.
Right, yeah. If Baumgardner hits you like that, you going down. I don't care how tough you are.
Yeah.
You can't
And Harper just wasn't never in the fight. She probably landed like maybe 4 punches. And there was opportunity was there, but she wasn't throwing the punches. She just didn't look right. And Alicia did what she was supposed to do, and she took advantage, boxed her up, and landed a big shot, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, and I liked Baumgardner's interview. Alicia was like, she asked for the smoke. Like, she didn't name names, but she was like, anyone at 130, like, anyone can get it, can get it. So I was like, okay. And I think now with this tournament, I think she's gonna probably fight like Choi, who I think is the other champion that hasn't fought yet.
Yeah, and that's the funny part, because even like Mayer the other day on Twitter was like, I'm probably not going to get the winner of this. I'm probably the winner of this fight is probably going to get Choi. And I'm like, so you admitted that you're probably not going to get this fight, and then you're fucking on the sideline. Oh, you asked me about Michaela Mayer, but you said yourself you weren't going to get this fight. So
that's what was weird. And unless she's one of these people, like, will just say the name, like, get it buzzing a little bit, but if you know there's not the immediate fight to make, then I could get what she's saying, but it was still corny. Like,
it's like,
it's not gonna happen. What the fuck? Like,
just give her props and keep it moving, not all this other shit that you're doing.
Just like and that's the thing with all the women's boxers. Like, a lot of them do be on some corny, unnecessary shit whenever their compatriots has a good fight. I remember it was Amanda Serrano was corny as fuck when Shannon Courtney and Emily Bridges had their fight. Instead of just saying, oh yeah, women's boxing had a good one, and that was a great fucking fight.
And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up, Mayor. Weren't you like complaining not too long ago that like I think like Hearn was signing all the other 130 girls, so like in like basically kind of just freezing you out, like, and then now you want to say this, like, come on.
Yeah, that's the whole corny shit. Like all of these broads be sounding corny and counterproductive. Like, that's what I said about the Serrano tweet was out of pocket. Like, everybody's enjoying a good fight, then you hear you say, well, if you like people with no defense, and no, we like motherfuckers that put on great fights, goddammit. Like, what's this shit you're talking about? Like, you can't have a good fight? Like, come on, man. Like,
it's like, stop the hate, man.
And just like Mayer with these tweets, it's like, if you know the fight ain't fucking happening, then what the fuck you bugging out for? It's not like you called this girl out after your fight, and then Shorty fights, and then she don't call you back out and say, oh, I heard Mayer. Then maybe you could say, yeah, you scared, bitch, say my name, get it. But if that ain't happen, like, the fuck, like, can women just have fucking good fights and everybody's like, yeah, good fight, like,
it's like, can I live, Jits? Can I live type shit?
Yeah, daddy is fuck, but yeah, there's women though, so
right. But shout out to Alicia Baumgardner, though, the new WBC super featherweight champion. And it's upset, and like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a rematch clause. Hopefully, that if it does get triggered, she repeats, and then she can move on. I know Alicia also wanted to get signed to Eddie too, so that's probably another thing. So, and that belt is probably her ticket.
She's probably gonna get signed because he's probably gonna want options on her if she wins again, which I think she will.
He'd be a fool not to sign her.
Yeah, exactly. Like because
all these niggas losing on your cards, bro. You better sign her shit.
Yeah.
Like you, honestly, you could make her into a superstar. Like
you could.
Got the looks, the attitude, could fight, could punch.
She's a model, and she's down with she's down with Tony Harrison and that and
although some women will you're sexualizing female fighters. Like, shut the hell up.
Fuck that. Like, shut your ass up. Whoever says that stupid shit. Like, is it my fault that we expect like women to be women sometimes, regardless if they're doing something that's testosterone filled and violent? you gotta play up to your damn strength. If a woman look like a supermodel or she got big tits or whatever, then play up to that, especially if you could fight too. Like, what the we gonna forget Mia St. John ain't have a career?
Exactly.
Yes, it's true.
She was nowhere near as talented and skilled, and she was decent, not saying she was trash, she was decent, but she's not on the level of these women you see right now. And so she wasn't on the level of the women back then.
She wasn't, but she got jobbers were kicking her ass.
but she made a career out of that and did the best she could, and that's all we're saying for these women. If you look good and you box and your boxing is as good as your looks, then play them both up. Like just we say the same thing about dudes. Ryan Garcia, we know he has the fan base and the attention and all the buzz around him, and he plays up to it, but then he doesn't fight like it.
Right.
And we complain about him all the time with that shit. So, of course, we're going to point out a woman doing the same thing if she's not playing up to her ability and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, like, so broads will get mad if everyone looks ugly and we're just indifferent to them. Like, is that what y'all want? Like,
yeah,
like y'all want the WNBA in boxing?
Right.
God damn, like, and some of these women are giving you the fucking blueprint, just like some of the men have given the blueprint. Like Broner gave a lot of people the blueprint.
Exactly, and people.
Jake Paul is continuing the blueprint. Right. Ebony Bridges was giving y'all some of the blueprint. Like, it's up to them to damn take it.
Mm-hmm.
No one forcing that shit. Look, they could start slap boxing and have a terrible fight and look good, and we'll shit on them for that.
There you go.
So you had it, you got it right there. Shit, ain't sexist. What the fuck? Like it, and if you look good and you're saying some shit like that, then you just mad that women that look just as good as you are actually more talented to you, and they're getting our attention and not.
Oh well, they're like, well, if us women just started posting fine men's boxers with dick prints, y'all would have an issue with it. I'm just like,
no, we wouldn't, because shoot, like, I got a sister, like, we used to talk about boxing all the time, and she'd be like, man, don't Jeff Lacey, that nigga cute. This, I'm like, yeah, like, what the fuck I'm supposed to say? Like, yeah, you know what, you right. Like, I mean, we know what, just like dudes, like, we know what niggas is the pretty boys and all that shit. Like, it's nothing different. Like, it's like they trying to make this shit different, and it's fucking not. Y'all talking about Valerie Lordy, the MMA chick that be twerking.
Yeah.
Okay, we should, a woman twerking in a fight, of course. Who gonna care? I don't care, bitch. You could do damn backflips. If you knock a motherfucker out, you could do what the fuck you want. Just like if a nigga knocks somebody the fuck out, if he wanna do some stupid shit, go ahead. Cause I'ma just focus on the knockout.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times have we cracked on Wilder for goddamn twerking and shit?
All the time. Like, it doesn't take much. Like, if a nigga starts doing something that's out of character, yeah, he gets roasted. So
yeah. But the thing is, Wilder got a fan base that they ignore this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody else come out knocking motherfuckers out and they start twerking, then we'll just ignore it and be like, well, yeah, I ain't see all that, but yeah, you fuck that nigga up.
Yeah.
And that's what we're gonna do. And as a woman, if you want to see women's boxing grow or women's MMA grow, if a woman start twerking after she knock a broad out, then just ignore it. Like, we ignore all the weird shit that niggas do.
Exactly.
Like, just shut your eyes. Like, the fuck. Like, you seen the Empire. It's so much. I mean, you see Spartacus clips, and it's so much crazy shit go down. Like no one's forcing you to watch all that shit.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, like instead of hating and saying all types of babble, just congratulate your fellow fighter for
because that's all it is fucking babble and hating.
Yeah.
I'm sure if some of these broads at home cooked a mean macaroni and cheese or a Thanksgiving dinner and they started twerking afterwards, they would want an applause from us. Like, the fuck? Same thing. But chick damn Xerox some papers in the office real good and, she started twerking like, yeah. And the nigga looked like, oh, okay, I got you. Like, it is what it is. Like, what the fuck? Like, just be happy. Like, shit, you ain't gotta pay attention.
Yeah, and and it was a great win. It was a great upset as well. Although it wasn't an upset. In fact, it was upset in terms of the odds, but it wasn't like a crazy upset. The other fight that we were about to talk about is a crazy upset. In fact, it's probably the upset of
all upsets.
Yeah, and this fight was the reason we didn't want to preview this. And of course, I'm talking about Kid Galahad making his first title defense of the featherweight belt against Kiko Martinez. And Kiko, for his part, had not really done anything to warrant a title shot. He's a former champion. He held a belt he was a champion about 7-8 years ago at 122, and he lost it to Carl Frampton. So it was a long time ago, and ever since then he's been like a career opponent. Well, basically he's not a career opponent. He's been a jobber to the stars, pretty much.
Crawford was just getting on the world stage when this guy was a champion.
Exactly.
That's how long this shit has been. Like, man, the dualities.
Yeah, and then of course now he's 35, and then his last fight though, he fought one of Hearn's prospects that went the distance in the fight. He probably should have won on the cards, but he got jobbed. So, and you think to myself, oh damn, like they got to job him out like this. So the fact that he got a title shot even after that was like, maybe it's like, this was I'm sorry for jobbing you, but in this particular case, they're like, he's sorry, all right. Yeah, and I know Galahad. Now Galahad is not the most. Now Galahad is, to me, like a struggle version of Hamed. I've actually caught his fight live before. Like, the movement, everything like that, but his temperament was not like Hamed. Like Hamed was a killer puncher, and Galahad be spoiling a lot, even in fights he shouldn't be spoiling in.
If you're trying to spoil in a fight against Kiko Martinez instead of beating his ass, then you deserve whatever's coming to you.
Well, and to his credit, he was doing it in the first fight, like, because he was buckling Kiko Martinez.
He was landing punches, but he needed to keep doing that shit. Like he took his foot off the gas.
Yeah, and even as he was winning those rounds, what Kiko was doing was actually lighting him up to the body. And then
he never moved his head, and he kept pulling back. Like he kept Kiko. Kiko is the type of guy, if you don't get him out of there or really put the fear of God in him, he's gonna stay in there with you, right? Ass whooping and all. And if you're not a guy who's defensively sound, I'm talking about real defensively sound, like Frampton and all the other guys who've beaten Martinez. Gary Russell Jr., all those other guys. But if you're a guy who just pulls back and makes amateur mistakes and you're not trying to get Martinez out of there, well, he might get you out of there if the opportunity presents himself.
Yeah, and it came in the 5th round when he dropped dude hard. Like, it came out of nowhere with one right hand. Kid Galahad was like, bam, like dude went to the canvas like quick. Like, and actually I was
put his whole life into that punch. I was a damn fucking the spirit gun or some shit.
Yeah, and I was just like, what the fuck was that? I was like, where did that come from? But it was at the end of the round like that too. But it was hard to tell. I was like, man, like, was it just like a flash? It wasn't a flash, but did Galahad?
Nah, he was legit hurt. Like, honestly, if the round wasn't over, he would have stopped him in that round.
Yeah, and apparently, I guess his corner probably was. So that probably means that Galahad's corner wasn't shipped for letting him go out for the next round, where Kiko Martinez lands that same right hand. This time it was more flush, and Galahad was out cold on the ground of canvas. Out, he was out of there. I was just like, no. Like, no, I was like, no way I didn't see this. No
Same
way.
with your food.
I was like, no way that Eddie done had two champions lose their upsets in back-to-back upsets. I was like, no, this is not happening. I'll like, honestly, like, few things shocked me in boxing. That shocked me. Kiko Martinez is not supposed to be world champion today. He's not. He wasn't. He was never probably never meant to be a world champion. I never thought he would actually be world champion after he lost his belt to Frampton so many years ago. I was legitimately in fucking shock. I could not believe what I saw. Yeah,
and you didn't even get. It wasn't like the Warrington upset where you was getting a war, and Warrington is fighting his life away, and Lara's there fighting his life even harder away. Like, this shit just came from a guy getting losing clearly, getting work.
Mm-hmm.
Not even in his prime, like far removed from his prime. So you don't even have the Lara aspect of a guy being in his prime.
Right.
Like you're letting a guy who's past it as fuck. This is like, honestly, this would be like Alfredo Angulo landing an overhand right that knocks out Jermell Charlo.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how bad this would look. And if you don't want to say Charlo, get anybody else at the number top 5, because Charlo's way better than Galahad. So
absolutely. But yeah, Galahad was, and the funny thing is too is like, and this is what we was talking about. This was his first title defense, the maiden title defense. This was a fight that, like, first of all, the fact that he picked Kiko was that's the type of shit that, and that's the reason why we didn't want to preview, because it's like, why do we want to see Kid Galahad probably beat on Kiko Martinez for how many rounds and stop him, like when he could be fighting somebody else in his title defense. Well, like I say, when you fuck around, boxing gods will probably intervene, and the boxing gods
never should have had this fight.
Yeah,
never should have been main event either. You should have never tried to even make a card around a fucking Kiko Martinez and Kid Galahad in 2021.
Yeah. And now
the most of this shit would have been was a recorded sparring session. Yeah,
exactly.
That you leave. I mean,
and now you have Spain. It's two fighters from Spain with the crazy upsets within a month of each other.
Yep.
Yeah, so Spain now is experiencing the fucking boxing renaissance right now.
So shout out to Spain. Y'all keep listening to Ring Game Radio podcast on Podomatic and Anchor. Yes, sir. We expect the downloads in your region to triple.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because we show everybody love, but when a country just kind of just steps it up like that with two guys that you weren't expecting, you gotta respect Spain right now.
Yeah, and Kiko Martinez, my hat's off to him, man. This is by far the best. I mean, dude was from like plus 900 to like 1500 I've seen, and if you parlayed both of them, I think it was like plus 5,000. Somewhere around there, give or take. If you were lucky to parlay both of them, you would have made out like a fat rat. But especially by knockout. Good lord, one punch knockout.
And I can't stand Kid Galahad. I think he's overrated as fuck. But even I didn't even think he was damn
super overrated. You had people putting him saying that he could be competitive and possibly beat Gary Russell Jr. I'm like,
get the fuck out of here. He couldn't even beat Josh Warrington.
Yeah.
It made the Josh Warrington fight boring.
Yeah.
if you can't beat Josh Warrington and you can't do it in a boring fight, then you're not skilled enough to be talking about you can beat Gary Russell or Navarrete or whoever the fuck else you wanted to.
And he wanted the Navarrete.
Oh, Navarrete would have put hands, feet, everything on him. Right.
Navarrete, man, dude will still be waking up.
Yeah. Fat.
Fuck out of here. Like, I don't even think he beats damn Joey Gonzalez.
Yeah, Galahad is when you go out there and try to spoil, like I said, he tried to spoil, he played with his food, he fought this guy this many times, and then bam, he has a short reign as champion. And
never should have dug that deep in the bottom of the barrel for this fight.
Nah.
It's much respect to Kiko Martinez because he did what we wanted but didn't expect.
Absolutely. You know,
And just a message to all the other boxers out there: look, if you taking fights like this, like really taking fights like this, secretly all boxing fans are rooting for you to get your ass knocked the fuck out.
Facts.
No one wants to come out and admit this, but I'll just say it. You know, whenever we see a career mode fight at this level, when you're picking a guy who hasn't been in his prime for like 8 years, like Kiko Martinez was in shape as a motherfucker. Like he said he was in shape, he looked it, he endured some shit, you know. So hey, I get it. You could be in better shape when you get older, but the thing is, boxing is one of those sports, especially at featherweight, where you know, the older you get, it kind of slip away from you a lot more. So, you know, picking on Kiko Martinez at 35 is like, you know, it's a dick move to me.
And then also too, just because I just pulled up the rankings, Kiko Martinez was 15th. He was the 15th ranked for the IBF because I wanted to see where he actually was. Now Galahad could have fought Mauricio Lara, who was available, because he was the highest rated contender available that could do it. But Lara is a different problem. So yeah,
and it would have told us more about him, and the thing is, I don't think he would have wanted to be compared to Josh Warrington, but he could have used it as a one-up move.
Right.
He just said, "Look, man, I handled this guy, and look, Warrington got knocked out by him, or you know, and da 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 da." But these guys, they want the easy fights, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes these easy fights get you the damn career mode glitch.
Yep. Perfect. Clear example of that. So now, I mean, Kiko now has options. Now, Eddie was not quick. Eddie has not confirmed a rematch clause, which means he probably like, Kiko was probably so old that there's probably no need. So
it's a rematch clause.
Yeah.
Like, fuck out of here. You make no money.
so now Kiko has big fights on the table. Now Kiko, if there is no rematch clause, is officially confirmed, then Kiko can obviously do a couple things. He could either take his belt to America, try to unify with Navarrete, or God forbid have a rematch with Gary Russell Jr., or the IBF makes him face Mauricio Lara, which wouldn't be a bad thing. You know, Mauricio Lara, because Mauricio Lara did have a title shot before Warrington's fuckery kind of went that gut away, and then the boxing gods made him pay for that fuckery. So yeah, Mauricio Lara did have a shot, and now he really does deserve a shot, you know, to give him a vote. So, but yeah, Kiko has fights on the table now, and
pay this man. Don't take no bullshit jobber money. Pay Kiko Martinez his fucking money. Pay him real money.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't give him. Yeah, I mean, if Eddie wants him to fuck around with Kid Galahad again, yeah, make Eddie pay you. Make him like, look, I'm the champion right now. Ain't no purse bit's going to look. You give me at least like $2 million or something shit like that, and we good. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to RTDZ. Kid Galahad dropped like an elevator. You damn right he did. Bars. He dropped like an elevator on fire from a damn Empire State Building or some shit. Like,
yeah. See now we have this. Yeah, funny thing still, we haven't heard any updates on Kid Galahad since he got knocked out. Because he got brutally knocked out. It wasn't like really like, I mean, dude took a flush shot and his head ricocheted off the canvas real hard. Like, dude was out cold. So I mean, hopefully he is. I mean, yeah, hopefully he is healthy. You know, he no complication or anything like that. But yeah, that was in the book as this is the biggest upset of the year by far. Yeah, I don't think any other fight. I don't think any other fight could probably even like any other fight can match that. In terms of actual like results that we didn't think that would happen. Or at least any of them that are coming up, for that matter. Yeah, salute Kiko Martinez. Like, you're champion, you're 2A champion, you're champion at 35 in a division.
Give this man a parade.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Trust me. When he touches down in Spain, I'm pretty sure we're probably gonna see all types of videos being posted on social media.
Yeah, give Alicia a parade too. Fuck it. They both deserve it.
Yeah, I think Alicia says she's on the plane right now on a 10-hour flight. So like she probably, so hopefully that maybe there's someone out there that's waiting for at least a little something. You know, but sometimes you know how people sometimes be front sometimes on certain things with certain people, I should say. You know, so but yeah, Eddie I know is in hell right now because you know Eddie's been losing. Eddie has been on the wild end of all these upsets. Like, I mean, bad enough. I mean, at least Joshua when he beat
because these trash ass fights. Alicia Baumgardner and Terry Harper was like the only good fight that you had an upset in that you didn't mind seeing the fight take place. No one was calling it a bullshit fight. No. Same thing with Usyk and Joshua. So good fighters being upset by better fighters, you know, hey, it happens. Right. But you know, Mikey Garcia, Kid Galahad, nah, those fights should have never happened. Well, Josh Kelly should have never got the damn should have got a loss from fucking Ray Robinson.
Well, in the event, Josh Kelly did lose this year, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. It's fresh in my head because me and Lukey just talked about it, like because he was going down basically like all the L's Matchroom been taking. And I'm like, God damn, like he was bringing up some old ones. But he did get his ass whooped this year.
Yeah, Josh Kelly's been, you know, he's been pretty quiet ever since that beatdown he got.
You better say quiet shit.
Yeah, he should be quiet.
Damn, fucking Katie Taylor, the damn Pursoon fights. So
speaking of that, they announced the Katie Taylor fight. So yeah, and the person that Katie Taylor's fighting is an actual puncher. So you know, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens in that one. I mean, I know Eddie will probably be in hell because Katie Taylor is probably one of his top like 2-3 fighters in his. You know, like he had, like, you know.
If there's somebody I want to see lose in boxing, is her, man. Like I don't know, them Pursuing fucking robberies just irk me, man. I hate a fucking robbery, man. Like, them shit be irking my nerves, man. Damn, her and Canelo, man. Them niggas. If I could see them fucking lose a decision before I go, then I don't know. It's been a wonderful life.
Yeah, like her opponent only has one loss. Katie Taylor's next one, and you know that hasn't lost since her first fight back in 2016, and she's from Kazakhstan. So you already know what time it is with that country.
Damn, we said Kazakhstan. I just said Canelo. Oh, the dualities.
Dualities, indeed. Yeah. So yeah, like. You know, Katie's got to be a little bit more careful because, like I said, Shorty can punch.
She had a tough fight with Jones too. Like
Jonas, yeah, she did.
Yeah, Jonas, yeah, she barely won that shit.
Yeah, she be having a lot. She be having a lot of tough fights for whatever reason. She hasn't stopped anyone in a while either.
Yeah, and I heard she don't want a McCaskill rematch.
Hell nah.
McCaskill will put a foot in her ass right now.
So yeah, Matchroom man is in hell right now. I think.
Yeah, y'all looking funny in the light over there, man. And then Eubanks they didn't want to fight with Andre. Like,
I mean, pretty much the only highlight there in terms of championship level is Lee Wood, who, if he beats Michael Conlon, will probably be the full.
He will.
Will probably be the full WBA featherweight champion, especially if LSE doesn't want to compete at 126 no more. So
yeah, Lee Wood he the only one repping them boys right now. He had one of the he had one of the best wins this year for them.
He was actually on the other side. He's on the other side of the upset. You know. For once. Yeah.
Oh man, they probably didn't even believe he would fucking do it too.
I didn't think. I mean, you called it. I didn't think he could do it. I didn't. That was. I just thought Zoo came. Well, he's gonna do what he's gonna do what he usually does and land like 1,600 punches in 12 fucking rounds and
not against no boxer puncher with damn Ben Davison in their corner.
Yeah, too. So I was like, okay, I'll leave it. Hey,
that's low key. Ben Davison, low key, is one of the reasons I see Haney kind of getting a win against Jojo Diaz, because I know, you know, if you put that boxing mind with someone with Haney's talent. Mm-hmm. If you don't come up with a crazy good game plan and execute it, then I don't know. It's just not supposed to happen.
Right, yeah. So.
But then you can't count JoJo out, so that's a good damn fight.
Yeah, so yeah, Matchroom. Yeah, let's hope that their 2022 will be a lot kinder to them as their fighters start as their star fighters start the process of rebounding.
I mean, you could already kind of predict some of the fights. I think Joshua's going to stop Usyk. Serrano's going to stop Taylor. I think Leigh Wood going to stop Conlon. What else we got out there? Does Josh Kelly come back?
Well, no, Josh Kelly's not a Matchroom anymore.
Oh yeah, damn, he got the KO'd off of them shits.
Yeah, got dropped from the team.
Yeah. He signed with Schaefer's outlet, Pro Bello.
Oh, so he's gonna be fighting on a pyramid in Egypt then. with Prograis on the undercard.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't need these damn Chris John inspired damn jungle fights. I'm good.
Fuck Chris John.
Yes.
Like, we'll fight on an aircraft carrier in international waters. Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah, but the upsets, trust me, that shit set the whole night off right for boxing for sure.